Hey everybody, I'm Jesse.
And I'm Addie.
And we just finished watching Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. So far in this series, we've had a mix of returning cast. Throughout each film, it's always been some come back, some don't, and then you see one from like a couple of movies ago, and so on and so forth. In this case, we do get a couple. We see Gia again, the little girl from the previous film who can talk with Kong, is friendly with Kong. Dr. Eileen, and Bernie, the conspiracy podcaster from the previous film. Fan favorite, I assume.
Yeah.
And in this one, they are on a journey to basically discover what has ticked off Godzilla this time. I feel like there should be a little jingle there. What ticked off Godzilla this time?
He's like the Earth's pet, and everybody's trying to make sure he like doesn't make a mess, doesn't cry, doesn't scream.
He is literally the Earth's pet with like how he's depicted now. And throughout this journey, the more that unfolds, the wackier and crazier it gets. I was watching this, and the more they discover as on screen, I'm like, what's gonna happen next? What could possibly happen next? And you get a glimpse of it in the trailer, but you don't really know what it is. Once you see it in theaters, you're just like, anything can happen. The Earth, humanity is not real. What's like next? They're gonna be like, oh, we're a marble inside a giant ape's bag of marbles.
Honestly, that's what could be. I didn't think it was wacky. Like, it didn't get wackier. I just thought they kept discovering things that we didn't know existed, which I guess could be construed as wackier. But it felt like when you're on the freeway and then you take an exit, but it's actually a fork into a different fork into a different fork. So you're very far away from where you thought you were going to go.
Yeah, that is a very good way to put it. I thought you were going to go in the direction of that gif where he's like connecting the red lines on the poster.
No, because they didn't really connect anything. They were just left with more questions, I think.
Yeah, it's not in a bad way. I just wasn't expecting this like series of films to go in the direction of like Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yeah.
You get me? Because it became that.
Literally the center of the Earth.
Yeah, quite literally. Yeah. So it's wacky and crazy, not in a bad way. There's a lot of discourse over like what should be the theme of these type of movies, because we kind of started with grittier films and Kong Skull Island and the original Godzilla, and they slowly became these crazier films. But like if you look back, there was never really any consistency with the original Godzillas from Toho. So I don't think there's any reason to stay with one theme or another. They're just having fun with it. But one thing is for sure, Adam Wingard, the director, promised us loads of kaiju action, and he delivered. It was top-notch action. At one point, I'll let you say the line that you told me in the car, that what it felt like. No, you don't remember. I'll just say it for you. That you were like, it felt like an Avengers moment.
Oh, yeah,
like, it felt like at some point they were getting, like, it was like they said, Avengers Assemble.
Yeah.
But in a good way. Again, like, it was just fun, and it, like, really felt like they were getting the band together, ready to fight a common enemy. And it was just cool seeing them toss each other an enemy to punch and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
working together.
Tapping each other in, per se.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the personalities they gave all of the characters and how they interact with each other. Because you can see when they're like tossing each other like a thing or something, and then like they do a little smile or a little nod or a little something of acknowledgement. I thought that was really interesting that they added that in the mix of all of the fight. But it seems as the movies progress, they keep giving Kong and then maybe Godzilla, although I didn't really see it much as evident in Godzilla. They keep giving them more like personality and like little traits that like make you feel more connected to them.
Yeah.
They have like softer eyes and they like emote and they like do little grunts, and I think that makes it all a little bit more humanizing.
Even when it's little things, they're like, and they like lift their lip up a little bit on the corner and they do a little grunt.
Yeah.
Those little details. And like you said, there's parts where it just felt like, I won't say specifics, obviously, but like where Kong would be like, "Oh, I'm hurt."
Yeah, he's like, "Please help." Hurt paw.
And I think there was a lot of moments in this film where it felt like they were being like little pets, and they were like,
Yeah.
it's time to snuggle.
Yeah,
I'm
like for a little
tired.
bit, for in some scenes, it felt very like humanoid in the sense that like they have thoughts and they can tell when things are bad and they know that
Yeah.
there's some enemies and there's some good people or like good creatures. But then other times it just felt like King Kong was like a big puppy and he was just like, help him hurt.
I think that is one good point that I'll interject here into our train of thought that we had going on, because it's something I'd like to point out that I hadn't really paid too much attention for, but now that you bring it up, it's really well done. All the body language, especially from King Kong,
Yeah.
is fantastically done, because not just facial animation, but you've got all their body language as to like you can tell when they're like cowering and like they don't feel like they're in power, because there's two scenes in the film where King Kong has control. He's in a spot of control. But the difference between those two scenes is that one of them, he knows he's in control. But in the other one, at one point, he loses control. And you can tell in his emotions the difference now that I think back about it. These are little things that I'm just now realizing. Yeah. And the when he sees like that he's received help or something, it really comes across in his emotions.
All in the eyes. He like gets like appreciation eyes, like almost like a glimmer of a tear. It's like, oh,
yeah,
he
they've
is grateful.
they've really got it down to a T, because that, and it's important that they have, because on a movie where like Godzilla and King Kong obviously cannot speak, how else can they emote?
None of the creatures can speak.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah. So, yeah, I think that was a good point to bring up. They definitely did knock it out of the park there. They do a very good job in conveying emotion. Oh, and then I mean, in no way a spoiler alert, because I mean it's in the trailers, but we're going on to that part anyways. But baby animals and baby creatures have clearly been a trend in movies nowadays,
I think it's all
and
Baby Yoda's fault. That's the first baby thing that I can think of.
It's Groot. Wasn't it Groot?
Groot.
I want to say it was maybe Groot first, but I forgot about Baby Yoda. But it's clearly been a trend, and it's a mixed bag for a lot of people, because I feel like half of the people are gonna be like, well, they're just doing it to appease the audience and make sure like they hit every demographic and make sure that like the people who are coming to see this movie that may not be so into the movie are gonna be like, oh my god, but that one little character was so cute. And then the other half is gonna be like, it's fine. I was just neither one way or the other, but I think it's perfectly fine, because if it's something that makes the movie more enjoyable and it makes you connect with it more, why not? So I mean, like you said, we've had Baby Yoda, but he was not first. I want to say Baby Groot started this thing off, and I'm talking about recent, because we can go further back, and I'm sure there's more baby creatures back then. But I'm thinking about Baby Groot first, kicked off this recent trend. We had Baby Yoda, and then we got the baby marshmallows.
From Ghostbusters.
Yeah, which clearly were a hit. Adorable. Because they came back for this film, for this last one that we got, Frozen Empire. So many empires, Frozen Empire, and now the new Empire. Anyways, so it's clearly a working trend. Now we've all seen the trailers for this film that show Baby Kong. That's what I'm gonna call him for now, Baby Kong, and he shows some emotion, but it's not. At least I didn't get the hint that he was gonna be like a baby Groot or a baby Yoda to this film, but he was.
He was just like a smaller Kong, and I haven't watched the trailer, so I'm not entirely sure what's in it. So cut me off if I'm spoiling things, but no.
What? What are you going to say? I mean, that's fine.
That's not a spoiler?
Yeah, okay. I don't think that's much of a spoiler, because we know that he is in the film. So I think,
okay.
Yeah.
So the first time that we see Baby Kong, he's in this rocky area, and big adult Kong encounters him, and it's the first like monkey or other Kong or
Yeah.
other
Which is what he's been looking for.
Yeah, ape type of creature. And so he's like, oh my god, there's another monkey. I'm not the only one. So his eyes soften and he like gets down on like one knee and he like extends a hand, you know, like he's like, come on, little guy, like I'm friendly. And then the little monkey freaking bites him and he turns into like a little menace. But it was nice that the baby monkey was the first sign of other monkey ape life that Kong saw, because it's like, oh cute, it's a baby, he's not gonna harm a child. Like, even though the like baby monkey bit him, he was just like, he like roared in his face or something, he like booped him aside. But
and it's nice that that baby Kong also has like his own character arc. Like he's not there to just be a baby. If like you could make that argument that he's he's there to be another baby. Yeah. He's there to be another like cute face in a film that doesn't need a cute face. But he does have a character arc.
Yeah, he's more than just comedic relief. I wouldn't even say he's comedic relief.
He's just cuteness.
Like, he's just like,
he's just cuteness. Like just another scene without like giving it explicit where he's just like, he doesn't do this, but he does it like
he's just like,
come on, can I have some kind of thing. It was just a big puppy. But that, again, that is something that you're either gonna love or hate. And I feel like just people who are hard asses are gonna hate it. But it was cute. If you're a pet lover, you're gonna love it. It's adorable. If you've loved Baby Groot, if you've loved Baby Yoda and all that other stuff, you're gonna love it. It's great. He's adorable. My last point that I wanted to touch on, which as I was literally like caught my attention at the beginning of the film, and at other points in the film, I was just like, why, was the soundtrack. It was all over the place. Such a, I guess, minor thing to gripe about, but you got some synth music at the beginning that kind of felt Stranger Thingsy, and I was like, what is the vibe they're going for here? And then you have like some, it was synth music. I think that's what it's called, a synth, right? Like,
well, yeah, but I don't remember what was happening.
Very synthy.
I was too worried trying to figure out if you were gonna make it or not.
That's a different story. And then we get some pop song. I don't know what song it is, and then we get some like classic rock hits, and I'm just like, cool. I don't know if you're trying to channel James Gunn with like his excellent music collections that he creates, or are you just sticking songs that you like in there, or what? I just felt like it was all over the place. If you're gonna do synth the entire film. Don't stick in like actual songs. And then like when they would put in songs like if a character was listening to them, they would like blast it. I feel like it's more important to have it sound almost like a little muffled to make it seem like the person's just listening to it and it's not blasting through speakers. I don't know. My personal taste in things, it was just all over the place with the soundtrack. I think you enjoyed it. I knew the songs.
Liked it. I feel like exactly the opposite from what you feel like. I don't remember the synth at the beginning. I'm assuming it's in the opening fight scene, right?
No, it's also when they were like loading onto the ship to like go to Hollow Earth and stuff like that. It was in bits and pieces.
I also don't super pay attention to the soundtrack unless like I recognize a song, so that might be my bias. But I enjoyed it. I did think they were channeling Guardians of the Galaxy vibes, James Gunn. But I like that it wasn't just nilly-willy in my say. They attached it to a specific character. And this character was very like laissez-faire, very like laid back. He was just like, he looked like a summer surfer guy. Is he in the trailers?
No.
Okay, so I will not say who they are. But yeah, they attached all of these songs to this specific character. So anytime he had like a scene or he was like doing something cool, they would put like a song, and I think that was just to fit that character's like aesthetic vibe, whatever they're going with. And I thought it was working up until we got to the end and we didn't really get a lot of closure with the human characters. Is that a spoiler? I don't know what's a spoiler or what's not.
You're not saying that.
Okay.
You're not saying that's totally fine. Yeah.
So I thought there was going to be like a big culminative
there's usually like a goodbye about like, oh, I'm checking in with everybody.
Yeah. And they kind of don't do that. So I thought it would have made sense if they like, the character also had like a closing remark or something, or like and like walked off with a song or something. That I think that would have been fine, but there wasn't, and we also didn't really get a lot of like end movie scenes with the rest of the human cast.
Yeah. I feel like
Which
it
was
would have
kind of
been
weird.
okay had we gotten like closure before the final scene.
Yeah.
And then the final scene still happened, that would have been fine. But we didn't get much closure, which I guess in an aspect it's okay. It is a Godzilla and Kong
Yeah,
movie.
I know it was more focused on the
Clearly,
creatures
yeah.
themselves, which they did. I felt like the humans were just like the tiny
They were just
subplot.
Which is good. I mean, that the film is meant to be
Mhm.
about the creatures.
Yeah.
It is titled Godzilla and X Kong, so I mean, it is delivering on
Yeah.
that aspect.
But yeah, back to the music point. I did think the music worked, but only for that specific aspect that it was attached to a character. That is a surprise.
Yeah, I hadn't paid too much attention to that, but yeah, good point. On that note, on to our ratings. Do you want to go first? I go first. Rock, paper, scissors, who goes first?
Yeah.
Ready? Rock, paper, scissors.
Ha.
Dang it. You go first.
Okay, so I give it an 8 out of 10. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I want to watch this at home because I had so many side remarks and so many jokes for
Not the bridge. Not the bridge. Bad timing.
I just looked at you and you knew what I meant.
It was bad timing.
Yeah, it was bad timing indeed. But yeah, there was a lot of like little quips and comments that I wanted to make that I couldn't because we were in a theater that was filled with other people. I also, like you said earlier, I enjoyed that, they got the gang back together. I don't know. No. Okay. So there is a specific scene where like one creature like lifts their arm up in the air and it literally looks like they're going Avengers Assemble. But yeah, I like that. It's always nice seeing returning cast members, and I did think the human cast of this film had like a good chemistry. They were funny.
Yep.
And I thought every one of them was like, even the actor themselves was a good person to fit the character. So yeah. I like that. No complaints about the music. But yeah, I liked it. I'll watch it again. I think it was my favorite one thus far. It did have too many fighting scenes for my personal preference, but I liked the story plot. I liked the new lore we uncovered. I liked the new characters. So I thought it was a good addition.
I think you really enjoyed lore as well because you really enjoyed Monarch.
Yeah.
The show, which a lot of people didn't because it was just very like dry and dull.
Yeah.
But you enjoyed lore, so I think it having a lot of lore was good for you. But yeah, on that, I'm actually not copying you.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are, because you've copied the last two movies. No, I'm not.
I was going to give it an 8 already as well.
Sure.
I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. I swear.
Sure.
I was giving it an 8 already.
That's why you wanted to know my score earlier.
No. Did you tell it to me earlier?
No.
No, you didn't.
No, but that's what you wanted to know.
Anyways, I'm giving it an 8. I was already giving it an 8.
Sure.
In my mind, it was already an 8, I promise.
Sure.
Because I just thought it was fun. It was a fun film, even for the things that I was like kind of like griping about throughout the film. Usually, like I have a gripe in the film and kind of lingers with me the entire time, and I just can't have a good time. But I was like, oh, that's kind of bothering me. Nah, whatever. And like the fight scenes made up for everything. Because it was just really cool and creative fight scenes.
I will give them that. They were creative.
That's the word, creative. I don't know how I didn't mention that earlier. Very creative film, creative fight scenes that probably break all the laws of physics.
They literally break the laws of physics. They specifically break the laws of physics.
But they're fun. They're really good. It's great to see them tag teaming and whatnot, and just going at it. So a couple of points knocked down for like the music. I don't know what else I'm knocking points down for, to be honest, but it just obviously is not a perfect film. Like I feel like it's not 9 material, much less 10.
Because you wanted it to be less silly and more gritty.
Well, see, I wouldn't mind the whole like Hollow Earth thing if it wasn't so vibrant. It makes it feel fake. You get me? Like the creature designs and everything are there, but like it feels like they just like turned the saturation up to 12. But that's a whole different story. I just thought it was fun. It was a great time seeing them fight, seeing them on screen more, seeing their transformations, seeing their character arcs. It was fantastic. And all the creature characters had their own character. They were all very different. because there's more than just what you see in the trailer, and they're fun, and it's nice to see them on screen and keep up with them, and they do truly replace human characters because you don't feel the need to be like, oh well, what's going on? You know what's going on. Like we talked earlier, there's a lot of emotion and everything in this film. It makes it really fun and entertaining, and down to the fight scenes. Back to the fight scenes are just great. But yeah, that makes it an 8 out of 10 for me. So I think that is it. So if you check out Godzilla and Kong, The New Empire,
Yes.
do check it out. If you don't have plans to check it out, make plans to check it out. It's definitely worth seeing on the big screen. Dolby, IMAX.
Would have been nice in IMAX.
It
but
would
our
have.
IMAX
I've
theater
seen
sucks.
all of them in IMAX. Every film. This is the first one I do not see in IMAX, only because our IMAX is so tragic. It is. It's terrible, but I mean, our AMC is in a mall, so there's like so much space they have to work with, and
They paid more attention to Dolby.
Yeah, the IMAX is very cramped, and so like it's unfortunate. Like if tall people sit in front of us, or people keep on getting up and down, a lot of leg room. You can't even recline an inch. Well, not even that. Not like I'm not asking for full on recliners, but like the ones where we're from, they like have a little bit of tilt. There's more walking room and everything, but that one's like a standalone, so it's got plenty of room. But so we had to sacrifice and go with Dolby. But check it out in one of those. Do not check it out if you're planning on skimping and going with a $10 matinee showing at the regular old room. Don't go to those. Cough up the extra $5 for Dolby, at least.
I can't even tell it.
Because the sound sounds great.
The sound
It
sounds
sounds so good. The sounds. But yeah, we'll cut it off there because we've been going on for too long. But it was a good movie. It was a great movie. Check it out this weekend. You have to. If you do, come back here. Let us know what you think in the comment below. Like this video. Tell your friends about it. Tell your friends about it. Tell your aunt and uncle and everybody about this movie. Go watch it. Check it out. Tell them all to come back and comment in the comments below. Till next time, peace.